Who are you to yourself? We're different people to everybody in our lives. To some people, we may be this nice, kind, genuine person, but to another person, you may be that annoying, ungrateful, unbearable person. Who are you when you're not putting a performance on for other people? Who are you when you take that mask off after a long day? Who are you to yourself? A lot of us don't know who we are outside of certain things. Growing up, we're always in school, extracurriculars, sports, work, whatever it may be. And outside of those things, we don't know who we are. Outside of other people, we don't know who we are. To your friends, you have to be this caring, genuine, kind person all the time. To your partner, you have to be that rock who never fails, who never shows emotion, who's always there no matter what's going on in their life. To your parents, you're this perfect kid. You're this kid who can never make mistakes, this kid who always listens, never speaks out of turn. But to yourself, who are you? You're different people to every single person in your life, but you don't know who you are outside of that, outside of other people, outside of other things, the environments that you're in. You change yourself based on who you're with, and that's finding out who you are and always staying you no matter what environment you're in, no matter who you're with, staying who you are to yourself. A lot of us will change too much and we'll be like, yeah, I'm this person in this friend group, I'm that person at work, I'm this person with my partner. But I feel like if you're like that, you never truly know who you are, because I feel like a lot of us don't actually spend intentional time by ourselves. We don't spend time with ourselves. We spend time by ourselves, but never with ourselves. A lot of us will consider our by ourselves time, or the time that we consider with ourselves, is when we're at home scrolling on our phone, sitting in our bed, playing video games or whatever it may be. But you may be by yourself, but you're not spending time with yourself. When I mean spending time with yourself, I mean intentionally blocking out all the noise. A lot of us will have those headphones on any single time we're by ourselves, and having those headphones on doesn't let you think, doesn't actually let you be with yourself. A way that I like to be with myself, be present intentionally with myself, is going on walks all the time. Now, after I have a meal, I'll go on a walk. I'll go on a walk, no music, and by myself. I'll think about my day. I'll think about what's going well in my life, what isn't, what's working, what isn't, the way that I'm feeling, what made me feel a certain way. Also, journaling helps a lot to understand who you are, understand why you may have reacted a certain way in your life, a certain way that day, when certain things in your life happen and you don't understand why. A lot of the times we don't know ourselves because we don't actually try to get to know ourselves. And the best way to do that is to journal and to see why we did certain things throughout the day. Why, when the barista got our order wrong, we got upset about that. Or when somebody cut you off in traffic, you threw a fit and you were angry at the other person. Or when your friend didn't invite you to those plans, you threw a fit, you got super upset. You have to ask yourself why. Why am I the way that I am? Who am I to myself? Who am I when I'm not putting on a performance for another person? Who am I when I'm not trying to impress other people? No one's going to be able to tell you who you are. People will only be able to tell you the way that you are based on the things that you show them, the person that you are to them when you're performing, when you're putting on that mask for those people. Who would you be if you didn't see those people at all? Who would you be if you never had school, you never had sports, you never had your career, you never had any of those things that define you? A lot of us will have things and we're like, yeah, if I don't perform well in school, if I don't perform well in my job, in that sport, I don't value myself, I don't know who I am. A lot of people, after they get out of sports or they get out of a certain thing, they're lost. They don't know who they are. They have that realization in their mind of all I knew was basketball. My whole life I played basketball, and now without it, who am I? Who am I without those people? A lot of us will be in relationships or friendships for a long time, and we consider the another person the other half of ourselves. And when something happens and that person leaves our lives, we don't know who we are outside of them. A lot of people will be so dependent on other people. Without that person in their life, they're lost. They don't know who they are without that person. But you have to know, who are you to yourself? Who are you when nobody's watching? Who are you? Understanding yourself, spending time intentionally with yourself, not by yourself, but with yourself. So stop scrolling whenever you have time alone. Stop putting on those headphones when you're at the gym. Stop putting on all this noise in order to kill out your thoughts. A lot of us don't want to spend time by ourselves because of all the thoughts that go on in our head, all the overthinking, all the rabbit holes that we go down, all the anxiety, all these things that are going on in our head. We have to let it flow. We have to let those things flow through us and understand why we feel a certain way. A lot of us will get into an overthinking hole when we're like, oh, this happened, why did this happen, what's gonna happen, right? We overthink, but we have to be intentional with trying to stop it and telling ourselves, hey, it's okay. I'm gonna deal with whatever happens as it comes. Whatever happened. I can't change it now, but what can I do now, right? A lot of us don't want to spend time by ourselves, and by ourselves without the noise, with ourselves. A lot of us don't want to spend time with ourselves because of all the thoughts and everything that goes on in our heads. But we have to be okay, and we have to be comfortable with our own thoughts. At the end of the day, you hear your voice more than anybody else's. You hear your voice at least 60% of the time throughout the day. So at least make your voice a nice one. Get to know yourself and be able to control yourself. Build that person that you want to be, so you don't always have to rely on other people. You have to have that voice in your head. You have to be the person to tell you everything's going to be okay. Whatever happens in my life, I'll get over it. We'll get through it, right? You can't always rely on other people or rely on external things for your well-being, for your happiness. If something's going wrong in your life, you're responsible for it. So getting to know you, spending time with yourself, not just by yourself. Who are you to yourself? Who are you when you're not performing?